Hi everybody, I'm Beebs Kelley. Welcome back to another video. Today we are discussing another weird lady in the public eye. Alec Baldwin, famous actor, embroiled in a very sad story recently and controversy with the accident on the Rust production, the movie Rust production, has tried to come out on the other side of it, making some questionable choices. The rumors behind the scenes, the whispers are that after the Rust thing happened and he was acquitted of responsibility for what happened, that Hilaria, his wife, sort of forced him into doing these projects that she wanted to do that were more reality TV based. Alec has never engaged in something like this before that I have ever heard of. It's a little bit frowned upon amongst like respected actors to go into reality TV, that it's sort of like a step down because, I mean, it kind of is. You're not using your skill as an actor. You're just kind of reducing yourself to something different is the vibe usually. And also it is one of those things that once you're in reality TV, it's very hard for people to accept you back into acting roles and serious acting roles because it's hard to view you any other way. When you reveal that much of your personal life, people will tend to only see you through that lens rather than being capable of seeing you in whatever character it is that you're trying to portray. And since he perhaps didn't want to do any more acting after that traumatizing event on the set of Rust, perhaps he was willing to do this for his wife because he was like, well, I'm done acting anyway. And she kind of, according to these rumors, forced him into this reality TV arc that they are now engaging in, and it's not going well. But recently, it made the rounds on social media, several instances, not just one, of Hilaria being really rude to him during interviews, where she was telling him to stop talking. She repeatedly said, "You don't talk when I talk." She was rolling her eyes when he tried to interject. She was just acting like he was her dad and she was a teenager who was embarrassed at his existence and didn't want him to speak at all or even be there. That's what the vibes it gave. That's what it sort of felt like, which was sad and weird and not okay. I'll try to plug the clips in here if I can. If they get copyrighted, I'll have to cut them out, and you can go and find them for yourself if you are curious. So there's a few possibilities on what would motivate them to do this or to think that this would be okay. Clearly, Hilaria was the main problem here, but perhaps they together thought that this would be sort of like cute banter because this happened multiple times. I would imagine if it happened once and Alec wasn't okay with it, that it wouldn't happen again, right? You would assume. Because in a healthy relationship, somebody wouldn't continue to do something that you ask them not to do. So that's what leads me to think maybe Alec thought that it was all right or wasn't offended or upset by it. It could also be that Hilaria is just being cruel and toxic and continuing to be rude to him like this repeatedly because she feels like she can or like he deserves it or something. I don't know. But maybe they did think it was cute banter. Perhaps she's, because she has this whole alternate universe storyline where she thinks she's from Spain, but she's not. Like, she is fully not Latina in any way. Like, she has like German and Scottish ancestry or something like that. Like, she has no Spanish or Latina heritage at all. And she was born in Boston and raised there. She spent the occasional vacation in Spain and is apparently fluent in Spanish, which is fine. That's great. But she has this persona that she has tried to sell to people that she is Spanish and she doesn't know English words. Like she said, what is this? In an accent. She speaks in an accent sometimes that she doesn't have. And says, what is this? When she's pointing at a cucumber. Cucumber, is it called a cucumber? Like she doesn't know the English word for it when she has been English speaking since day one. super bizarre, super strange, trying to sell this persona. So perhaps she's trying to, fulfill this persona or drive it home. Perhaps she sold Alec on this persona and he believed her that she was Spanish and so she has to stick to the story. We don't know what's really going on, but it is weird. Maybe she thinks this is what fiery Spanish ladies are supposed to be like or something, this crazy stereotype. I don't know. But it's not. It's not okay. And she's not that way for real. And so I can't think of this being a logical reason or excuse for her rude behavior to him because it doesn't make sense. It came across kind of sad to me because it's just plain rude. And here's the thing. Even if you joke like that at home and you guys banter in that way at home and you think it's funny and cute and everybody's okay with it, the rest of the public are not in on that joke. Nobody else gets it. And so it just makes you look like a dick if you do it in public because no one else gets it. And even if somebody's okay with it at home in private, doesn't mean they're okay with it in public all the time. That doesn't, they're not the same things. Different spaces, different rules. Hilaria came off looking selfish and rude and extremely egotistical and narcissistic by not letting her husband, who is the actual famous one, speak. And not only that, but to do so in such a disrespectful manner. Like, it's shocking. If I can't include the clips, go and look. I'll try to link some if I can't include them because it is shocking how rude she is to him. It's nuts. And this reminded a lot of people of Prince Harry and Meghan and a few other people that just seem to think that because they married a successful or famous man or a public figure like Harry, that then they suddenly think that they're just as famous or that they're the draw all of the sudden when they're not. And to the public sphere, it doesn't mean anything to anybody that you married this person, that you married somebody famous. Like, it doesn't matter. No one cares about you just because of who you married. Like, that's not how it actually works. And that's part of the problem with Hilaria, with Meghan, with some of these other women in Hollywood who think that they're the draw but have no reason to think that. It doesn't make you relevant. Now, when Meghan was a working royal briefly, it did make her relevant because she had that as her job. She held that position and was a working royal for a few months. She did 72 engagements and then she quit. So now she no longer has that relevancy. Like, think about it from a different context, how weird it is. You wouldn't marry a stockbroker and suddenly think that you deliver any degree of value in finance. You wouldn't marry a surgeon and accompany him to some sort of conference or dinner and think that you should speak there about these things because you're not a surgeon. You don't know anything. You shouldn't. And same goes here. You wouldn't marry an actor and then start talking over him and taking over the red carpet interviews. That's just weird. Same thing goes for Meghan. She married Harry, briefly worked as a working royal, abandoned the patronages and responsibilities and quit the job. Now she's doing her own thing for profit, and yet she still thinks that she should be the one to speak at and participate in Invictus or other charitable things. Like, she thinks that she should be there. Why? You shouldn't be leading veterans and marching in front of them or marching alongside veterans. You're not a veteran. You're just here because you married Harry. Like, get off the stage. Get away from the veterans. It's even more weird because we logically know and can infer that if you marry someone wealthy and high-powered like this, you could, much easier than most people, launch yourself into your own career space of choice. Thanks to your husband's wealth, connections, like with the Meg, I think that's part of what's so frustrating to watch is that she now has tons of money and resources and could have been really smart and disciplined and strategic and created a good, well thought out business plan for herself, which would have benefited from Harry's fame and fortune. And instead, she invaded every single thing that she did. She went where she didn't belong. Her attempts at finding a career or launching a business have been plagued with endless drama and failures and silly mistakes that didn't need to happen. And that's what's so annoying about it. and what makes it all the more strange. That Meghan could have done this the right way and mistake-free and hired all the experts she needed to make it a success. And instead, she's done what she's done, which has been really weird and ill thought out and just bad choices from a business perspective. This Hilaria lady, she was a yoga instructor before. She has several children with Alec. She could have created a successful influencer, mom influencer. I mean, like, you know, that's kind of a dicey arena. Maybe like without the kids focused content. Maybe she could have done something with yoga as a yoga instructor and been successful, like some sort of program or career within the fitness space or even the beauty space. She could have done all kinds of things and been on merit, just helped along and had an easier time launching it because of Alec's fame and fortune. But instead, she wants to mooch off Alec's fame and is being stupid about it, trying to tell people that she's Spanish when she's not, and taking the microphone from him and telling him he shouldn't be speaking. It's messy. Why do that? Why go about things that way? Here's the thing. People can and will get behind you if it's clearly on merit. If you seem like a good person and you're not making stupid mistakes and you're actually trying, even if you make mistakes, if you're actually trying and you're being honest and authentic about it and you're not being a snob, people will get behind you. People cannot, however, get behind you and will never get behind you forevermore into the future, because they don't and won't respect you if you go about it this way. If you are foolish about it, you make stupid mistakes, you're narcissistic about it, you're clearly just mooching off your spouse's fame and whatnot, and you're not really doing anything for yourself, there's no merit-based opportunities given to you, and you're throwing away every chance you get. People will never respect you and will forever protest your brands because of it, or boycott your brands because of that. And these ladies, even though they have so many advantages from their position, if they had built something on their own merit and did it well, it would be respectable still. People would still like it. You don't need to try to steal your hubby's fame or shine. You don't need to try to put him down on the red carpet. You don't need to weasel your way into places you don't belong, like marching in front of the veterans at Invictus. Especially in this sort of a desperate way that we see with Hilaria and with Meghan, that leads you into these types of mistakes that will turn the tides of public favor against you forevermore. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will see you next time. Have a happy day, everybody. Bye.